Hola friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Man, and I am your coach for the Texan Clearbodies in season number 1 of the STL. This is week number 2. You guys might be asking, why is this video late? Let me go ahead and preface this entire video with an explanation on that. We had a coach in the STL, Brandon. His team was the Detroit Diglets, and he was to be our week 2 opponent. Unfortunately, he got busy, or he was too busy in general, or something like that. So unfortunately, he was forced to drop because of inactivity. And as a result, our league commissioner had to make a substitution and went ahead and replaced him for the remainder of the season with our new opponent, Spice, or Spicy Revenge as he likes to be called, and his team, the Memphis Primeapes. Now, I want to go ahead and preface this with another notion that I had built this team originally for Brandon on Thursday last week, ready to battle him this past weekend, but things happened. We got to about Sunday and he hadn't battled me or contacted me about scheduling the battle either. So I went ahead and got week 2 and pushed to week 3, and I have week 3 to make up week 2 and 3. So yay. And I also want to preface the fact that because Spicy Revenge is being replaced by Brandon, Brandon's draft was dropped and replaced by Spice's draft, which you will be able to see later on in the video. And because of that, I had to adjust my team to fit his. And yeah, I didn't change any of the mons I bought though, but I did change some investments and things like that. But I'll go over that in the team building portion of this. Unfortunately, Spicy Revenge here had to build his draft from the free agency pool after Brandon's team got put in the free agency pool. So now that we've cleared that up, I apologize obviously for the fact that we don't have a week 2 battle when it was due, but we have it now, so at least we have it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the team builder and take a look here at the team of Pokemon that I decided to bring this week. So now, if you look on the right side of the screen here, you'll see a snip out of my opponent's Spice. I'm gonna call him Spice for the rest of this video, even though his name is Spicy Revenge, as he likes to be called rather. So you'll see Spicy Revenge's draft choice here, draft choices for his Memphis Primeapes team draft here, and you'll see next to it my draft. So looking at the draft, and I'm gonna go ahead and compare it to Brandon's draft right now because I was originally gonna battle Brandon anyway. But when we look at the drafts, Brandon's Mega was Mega Lopunny, which had a base speed of 135, which at the end of the day created a base 405 Pokemon max speed Jolly Nature. Spice's Pokemon on his draft are mostly fast, outside of like 4 different things, maybe the Mega Venusaur, Gardevoir, Hitmonlee, Cofagrigus, and maybe one other I can't remember off the top of my head. Mind you, I cannot see the draft, but you can see the drafts on your screen. But outside of those 4 Pokemon, maybe one more that I'm forgetting, his Pokemon are mostly base 100 or higher. Oh, Mega Venusaur, I forgot about that. Mega Venusaur is like base 70, I think it is, or 75. But outside of those 4 or 5 Pokemon, everything on his team is base 100 or more. For example, Victini, base 100, Garchomp, base 102, Zoroark, base 105, the Keldeo, Resolute, or Standard Keldeo, base 108. His Lati is base 110, which is his fastest Pokemon. And another Pokemon that I forgot to mention was Heliolisk at base 109. So, if we look at the speed differential between my original opponent and my replacement opponent's teams, Spice's draft's fastest Pokemon hits 350 base speed, 350 max, timid or jolly or mixed, beneficial nature. Speed is 350. Brandon's is 405. The speed differential is 55 points. And as a result of that 55-point speed difference, the EV investments were different as well. Another thing, as you'll see on his draft, and I think I mentioned it as well, he has a Zoroark. And that Zoroark made prepping for this opponent very difficult, because I didn't know what he would lead Zoroark as. You'll find out what he led, though, in the battle. But yeah. So yeah, let's now that we know that the speed differential is significantly different, just know that I had to change my team to suit my opponent's team, which means I changed investments and some movesets as well. However, I didn't change any of the movesets before. I changed all of the movesets before the battle. I didn't change any of them post-battle. Galvantula, I will mention right now, the Galvantula was deleted accidentally when I was switching Mega Alakazam to regular Alakazam, because I guess the game is broken on Showdown, where you can't have the Mega or else it'll come off as regular Mega without having Mega Evolved. Like, it'll enter as if it had already Mega Evolved, so I had to change it. So when I was doing that, I guess that I deleted Galvantula accidentally, but I went ahead and rebuilt Galvantula because I had imported it into Damage Calcs in case I needed it for Damage Calcs, so I went ahead and recreated the set from Damage Calcs. But in any event, so that I don't ramble forever and ever and ever, let's go ahead and hop into the team builder and find out what team I bought against Spicy Revenge and the Memphis Primeapes. You'll notice we don't have nicknames. I didn't feel like putting nicknames right now when I record this, and I forgot to put the nicknames that I had decided on when I battled, because again, this was like 11 or 12 at night when I built this team. So we'll have nicknames for next week, though. I promise you guys that much, because I probably will. We'll probably have nicknames by week 4, because I'm gonna break the 4th wall. Week 3 is gonna happen this week, and y'all will see it. But for week 4, we will have nicknames for sure, because I want to ask you guys what nicknames you guys would probably put. Excuse this, by the way. Shout out to virus errors. But yeah, what nicknames you guys think you guys would put on these Pokemon? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll probably tweet about them as well. If you guys want to, give input on these nicknames, then feel free to follow me on Twitter. The link to that is down below, and I will consider them. Tweet them at me, or I will probably be tweeting all week next week about, what name I should give this Pokemon, yada yada yada. However, there are some Pokemon that I have already decided nicknames for. For example, our Mega Alakazam will be named Wise Guy, which is Wizeguy, because that's my nickname for Alakazams all the time. So, I'm going to stop rambling about things, and hopefully virus issues don't show up anymore. I apologize for that, by the way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the team builder. Remember, you can see my opponent's draft on the right of your screen. I cannot, but Minior is our first Pokemon, our Trojan Broom, as I'm going to nickname it. He is White Herb, shields down like always. He has shields down, and with the 8 EV speed I have, I'm guaranteed to outspeed every single Pokemon on my opponent's team after my shields go down. Because remember, his max speed is base 110, so I will outspeed non-speed invested before my shields go down, but once my Shell Smash goes off, I outspeed everything regardless. But we have Minior here, our physical sweeper like always, 248 HP because I need HP to be uneven, max attack, Adamant Nature, 8 speed because I had 8 EVs left, put them somewhere, let's put them in my speed. We have Acrobatics, Shell Smash, Earthquake, and Substitute. I'll clarify all of these here in a moment. Shell Smash because Shell Smash White Herb, duh. Acrobatics because primary stab move, primary option after Shell Smash killing something. Earthquake was for Victini specifically if I needed it in the late game. And then Substitute because Zoroark Sucker Punch. When I was prepping this team, I considered Zoroark to be a big threat. And I'll mention that when I get further along in the team builder. But when I was building, Zoroark became a big threat because Sucker Punch from Zoroark cleans up. Because, as I said in the draft analysis, if you have not seen that, that should be linked down below. Check that out as well. That my draft, because of the 4 Psychic types I have on my draft, I have a big Sucker Punch weakness, I have a big knockoff weakness. I'm pretty much clickbait to those 2 moves, or any dark type move for that matter. So that was a big problem, so I packed Substitute on there in case it ended up being a 1v1 scenario in a revealed Zoroark against my Minior. I get Substitute up in front of it, and then Shell Smash in front of it again, and then let the Substitute take the Sucker Punch and click Acrobatics to kill it. But yeah, so the next Pokemon we have is our defensive Landorus Therian, which I don't have a nickname for. Rocky Helmet, Intimidate, obviously, because this is the same set we bought last week, in week 1. Stealth Rocks, Earthquake for Victini, U-Turn for Momentum, and Knockoff to get rid of items, with Stealth Rocks for Stealth Rocks usage. 248 HP because I needed my HP to be uneven. 8 attack because I had 8 EVs left. I might as well put them in my attack because base 91. I guess I could have sped crept something, but I didn't really know what to speed creep. Maybe the Hitmonlee. Maybe the Hitmonlee, which is I think base 85. I probably could have sped crept that, but I'm not sure. I had Intimidate for his physical attackers. Zoroark. I had it for Hitmonlee. I had it for physical Gardevoir if you decided to bring that, I guess. I don't know. But those are the only 2 things that I could think right now off the top of my head for which I bought Intimidate. But I had Rocky Helmet. Oh, I had Rocky Helmet for the Hitmonlee, for the Scizor, and for the Victini if you decided to bring physical Victini. I went ahead and packed Intimidate for the physical Victini and the thing I just mentioned as well, the Scizor as well. Because, again, I need an Intimidate drop on all of them to be able to survive a little bit better with them. But yeah, 248 HP because uneven HP, 8 attack because I had 8 EVs left. I might as well put them in attack to hit just a bit harder. And 252 HP, or I'm sorry, 252 defense, Impish Nature, just like last week in week 1. Rocky Helmet, defensive support Landorus. Our Stealth Rocker this week, Earthquake is for the Victini, U-Turn is for Momentum, and Knockoff is to get rid of an item. Next thing we have on our draft is Manectric. Now, when I built this team against, Brandon, I had Flamethrower over Signal Beam, but I told y'all that I would explain that Zoroark gave me a big problem in this build So I switched Flamethrower for Signal Beam because I forgot that my opponent had Scizor when I was building this team. Mind you, it didn't play that big a role, I suppose, but you know, I forgot that he had a Scizor in front of him, even though I saw it on the draft, but I forgot. So I switched out for Signal Beam because Signal Beam does 81%, I think, around 81% to the Zoroark that's offensive. So I wanted to have coverage for that, so I have coverage for that. I guess I could have switched Thunderbolt for Flamethrower, but I wanted Thunderbolt just cuz. But we have Choice Scarf Voltronics, I think is what I'm going to nickname it, unless you guys have something better. It's supposed to be shiny, but I forgot to change it. Shiny Manectric with the Choice Scarf Lightning Rod, because what if he has like HP Electric for some reason? Not that he should, but what if he does? So, HP Electric, just cause probably doesn't have it, but anyway. Choice Scarf Lightning Rod, because what if Thunder Wave? Thunder Wave Victini is a possibility, so I put Lightning Rod for that. Volt Switch, Signal Beam for Zoroark, Volt Switch for Momentum, Thunderbolt for Stab, and HP Ice for Garchomp. Now my investment spread, 24 HP because slightly bulkier, 252 special attack, and 232 speed with the timid nature. This allows me to hit 334, which outspeeds Jolly Garchomp by 1. Because I could have speed tied with potential Choice Scarfed Zoroark, but I didn't want to risk the speed tie there. So I went ahead and sped crept the Garchomp instead. I have HP Ice for the Garchomp. I outspeeded I am Choice Scarfed, so I outspeeded Choice Scarfed Garchomp in case he went ahead and decided to bring it. So that's that. And because of my Choice Scarf, if the Zoroark was not Choice Scarfed, if he was Life Orb or Choice Banded, I would have outsped him regardless. So there's Manectric spread there. The next thing we have on our draft choice this week, our team choice this week, is Tapu Bulu. This Tapu Bulu was late game sweeper, sack type thing, coverage against Mega Venusaur. Max HP 248, 8 speed, and max attack Adamant Nature, just like week 1. Except we had a bit of a set change. Over Zen Headbutt over Stone Edge we have Zen Headbutt, and Earthquake we have over Superpower. Woodhammer, Horn Leech are my stab moves of choice. You guys can see on your screen what they cover against really well, but I cannot, unfortunately. Horn Leech, Choice Banded, pretty much killed anything anyway, and then Woodhammer is just Woodhammer. Zen Headbutt, Choice Banded was for the Mega Venusaur. It was direct response to Mega Venusaur, and Earthquake was for Victini, just like it was on Minior and Landorus. Bulky Tapu Bulu. Mind you, I will tell you guys this right now, because I don't have any investment in my special defense, Tapu Bulu will take a hit on the physical side because of its base 115 defense, but it will not take a special hit. It will not take a special hit. Keep that in mind. It may or may not matter for the battle. Next, we have our Mega Alakazam Wise Guy. It should again be shiny, but I have not changed it, and it should be male, and I have not changed that either. We have our Alakazite, obviously, because we are Mega. We have Magic Guard, because Magic Guard. We have, on our moves, Psychic, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Ice. Psychic was to hit the Hitmonlee, Mega Venusaur, and then pretty much anything else. Except for a couple things. Focus Blast was for the Zoroark. Directly. Was for the Zoroark. Alright? Simply put, Focus Blast for Zoroark. That is it. Shadow Ball was the ideal play against his Cofagrigus. It was the ideal play against his Lati, because as I did in the damage calcs, The Shadow Ball actually does about 5% more, considering both minimum rolls. It does around 52% with my investment. It does around 52.7% on a minimum roll versus HP Ice doing 47% on a minimum roll. So now let's consider my investment spread a little bit. This is a really funky investment spread. It's a really weird investment spread, but it's an investment spread that works. 48 HP is, 48 defense allows me from full HP to live a hit from Garchomp. Mind you, it does 93 or some percentage or some shit. It does a whole bunch of damage, percentage-wise, but after Mega Evolving with 48 EVs, in my defense, I can live one hit. 220 special attack, because that's all I needed to 2-hit KO Latias. That's all I needed to 2-hit KO Latias. And 1-hit KO most investments of Garchomp. Defensive Garchomp takes 97% minimum damage. I think it is 97.6% minimum damage from HP Ice from this investment spread. And I was happy with that, because after Stealth Rocks go up, he dies. Now, we have 180 in our special defense. Our special defense is so that we can take a Draco Meteor from Latias. Life Orb Latias Draco Meteor does 93%, I think it is. Something like 93% damage to us. So, this Alakazam can take a hit from either one of them. Given the situation, it can take the hit from either one and kill it back. Then we have 60 speed, which is enough for me to hit 351 after Mega Evolving. It allows me to hit 351, which is enough speed for me to outspeed his Latias by... Is it Latios? No, it's Latios. I'm sorry, it's Latios. It allows me to outspeed his Latios. The blue one, goddammit. Latias is the right one. Latias is the blue one, and the Latios is the red one. I'm sorry. But yeah, it allows me to outspeed the Latias by 1 at 351. I am modest because I only needed 60 EVs to outspeed Mega Latias, or his regular Latias, which again, like I said in the team builder, or earlier in the team builder, is the fastest Pokemon on his draft. So I outspeed the fastest Pokemon on his draft, and so I outspeed everything that is not Choice Scarfed. Okay? So yeah, that's why we have this really weird spread, but 180 in my SPDF and 48 in my HP, or in my defense, after Mega Evolving allows me to take a hit from his Garchomp from full HP, or allows me to take a hit from his Life Orbed Latias, if he brings it, at full HP, from full HP rather. And, excuse me, the last Pokemon we have on our draft here, or on our week build for this week, is Galvantula. Focus Sash, dedicated lead. Focus Sash, dedicated lead Galvantula, just like always, should be shiny. Compound Eyes because accuracy. Packing Thunder, Sticky Web, Bug Buzz, and HP Fire. This was a way for me to deal with his Scizor. HP Fire was a direct response to Scizor. Any variant of Scizor, unless it's fully HP invested and fully specially defensively invested. A fully specially defensive Scizor probably barely takes the hit from my special attack. Or maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure, I didn't calc that. But most Scizors die. Bug Buzz was there for the Zoroark that I said was a really big deal. Sticky Webs because outside of his Scizor, and then one other thing that I cannot remember off the top of my head, Sticky Webs was a problem. Rocks were a problem. And then Thunder obviously is the stab of choice for just duh. Just duh. I mean, it's just there. But yeah. So we have 24 HP because I had 24 EVs left. I figured let me be a bit bulkier. 252 special attack, 232 speed with the timid nature, which is 341, which actually allows me to outspeed Zoroark by 2 points. Because Zoroark hits 339, Jolly, Naive, or Timid 339. But if I went 228 speed Timid Nature, I hit 339 and I speed tied with him. So I went 232 and took the 2-point increase to outspeed him. You guys understand how big a threat Zoroark is? So, yeah. So that's Galvantula, and that is the team that we are rocking out with this week. We have Thunder for Stab, Sticky Webs for Hazard Control, Bug Buzz for the Zoroark, and then HP Fire for the Scizor. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the battle. So here's the battle against your boy Spicy Revenge and their team, the Memphis. I can't think of their name now. Memphis Primeapes. Memphis Primeapes. Here is the battle. So if we look at his team, he bought his Zoroark, which I knew he would bring because my team screams knockoff, screams Sucker Punch, screams Dark type weakness, screams Dark type. He bought Mega Venusaur, he bought his Scizor, he bought his Gardevoir, he bought his Garchomp, and he bought his Victini. The Gardevoir was a bit of a toss-up as far as prep was concerned, but Shadow Ball was also for the Gardevoir, just so we understand it. Shadow Ball is also for the Victini, which, as I said before, is his Z-Captain. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop into the battle. As you'll see on the team, we know what I bought. We bought my Minior, my Landorus, my Manectric, my Tapu Bulu, my Mega Alakazam, and my Galvantula. But as I said in the team builder, Galvantula is the lead, so we're gonna go ahead and lead off with Galvantula, as he leads with what looks like Venusaur, but let it be established right now. Actually, I'm gonna look at this if I can. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't differentiate them, but this is not Venusaur. This is actually his Zoroark, and he led Zoroark because he was like, if I lead a Dark type and disguise it as a Psychic type, he's gonna want to lead with his Psychic type answer. I'm sorry, if I lead it with a Poison type, he's gonna want to lead with his Psychic types, which I can draw out, Sucker Punch, and Obliterate, right? So that's why he led with Venusaur. So if you see Life Orb on a potential Mega Venusaur, that's because this is Zoroark. But the first turn will play out, I'll put up my webs because that is why I led with Galvantula, to get up my webs. He fires off a Sludge Bomb, which immediately screams at me. He's either mixed or he's special. Our lead commissioner watched the battle after the fact in the replay, and he's like, "Your Venusaur lost Life Orb," and he was then Spice was like, "No, that's illusion because this was Venusaur as the Zoroark," which I didn't know it at that present time because I didn't pay attention to the HP difference, but he actually lost Life Orb damage there. I got my webs up, which is really what I needed, and as you'll notice, the only defogger he has on his team was the Scizor. But yeah, so he clicks off Sludge Bomb, I live, and I think that that's because of the 24 EVs in my HP, but I don't know if that mattered. But hey, we live it anyway. We live it, So he's going to fear the bug type move and switch out to his Scizor. I'm actually not realizing that this was his Zoroark gonna fire off a Thunder, which was my optimal play. This man took a clean 99.6% of his HP. Now, I got a crit, and I was like, what the hell? That shouldn't do that much damage. But it was because I got the crit. I do apologize for the crit, but I'm more apologetic for what happens next. I get the para because 30% paralysis, shout out to that, but the para is not necessarily what matters. Well, it does matter, but here's why it matters. Because on this next turn, Bullet Punch would probably have killed because of how frail Galvantula is, but as you see, he tries to Bullet Punch, but is paralyzed. So, I get the 30% paralysis, and then get the full para. Oh my lord, I am so... As you'll see over here, I felt so bad after the fact. So, unfortunately, I'm able to fire off HP Fire there, able to take care of the Scizor, so I'm able to... Basically, Galvantula is able to do what it was designed to do this week. So, the Scizor drops, and I kept thinking that was the Zoroark, but I don't agree with the play that he let his Scizor go down that quickly, because I had the Tapu Bulu in the back, and I had the Minior in the back, which both could have been dealt with that Scizor. But he sacked off Scizor, Scizor dies, he's able to go into his Gardevoir, speed goes down, and he's going to double out into Garchomp, predicting my Thunder, but I'm going to unintentionally make an aggressive-ish play, and I'm actually not going to fire off a Thunder. I'm actually not going to click Thunder this time. I'm actually going to fire off a Bug Buzz here. His speed goes down. I'm able to fire off a Bug Buzz, and that immediately tells me that's not defensive. That is offensive. And I was like, well, that's good, because I was prepping for offensive anyway. So at this point, Galvantula's done a lot of work, so I'm ready to sack it because I don't know what to bring in. I could probably have, now that I'm looking at it in hindsight, bought in Landorus, but I didn't know if he was going to click Stone Edge or Earthquake. So I was like, safe mood play, preserve my Landorus a little bit, because I need it for rocks. So I go ahead and sack off the Galvantula to a second Bug Buzz. He's able to fire off an Earthquake, kill me off, big deal. He takes Life Orb damage here, and I'm like, alright, you're Life Orb, fine. I go to Landorus. He's able to get his Stealth Rocks up because I guess he's max speed. Because he told me after the fact that he wanted an offensive approach to my team. So he took an offensive approach instead of a defensive approach. And so I said earlier that the Scizor would have been the way to defog away my Stealth Rocks that are about to go up in the next turn, and my webs, but his Scizor died, and it did not have defog on it, because he was an offensive Scizor, not an offensive support Scizor. So, like I said, I'm able to get my rocks up here, he's able to get his rocks up, he's able to click Dragon Claw, die to Rocky Helmet, so I clicked Earthquake for nothing, because I forgot I was Rocky Helmet, I clicked Earthquake for nothing. He gets to switch into Victini, which, if that Victini was Choice Scarfed, I would have outsped it anyway, which is why I bought Webs, so that Choice Scarf Victini could not be Choice Scarfed. He's over here feeling a little bit sad because bad day to play, but oh well. So the Victini speed drops. I'm like, okay. He fires off a Z move. I knew he was a Z captain, but I didn't realize he was Z captain until this happened. So he fires off a Z move, and it's actually Z Kinesis, as you'll see here. Z Telekinesis. Z Telekinesis puts me in the air, so I'm just a flying type now, I guess. But the reason why he's Z Telekinesis is because he gets +1 special attack. I didn't realize it during the battle, but I realized it after the battle, was that this was Z Telekinesis Special Victini. And you'll see why here in a minute. he's able to fire. I'm able to click knockoff, but knockoff is a moot point. I should have clicked earthquake, but I guess I overpredicted him to switch there, because I really don't know what the ideal decision there was. But I predicted him to switch, I guess, or click U-turn or something. So I clicked knockoff on the potential U-turn. And because he's a Z captain and fired off his Z move, I don't do as much damage as I would have been able to do if I clicked earthquake. So, in any event, he's able to, he's able to live the knockoff because it doesn't do any damage. It does moot point damage, and he's able to fire off Z. He's able to fire off Z telekinesis +1 glaciate. Now, I get a crit. Unfortunately, the crit on me did not matter. Let me tell y'all why. Because glaciate from offensive mixed Victini from the damage calcs. Mixed Victini glaciate does 90% minimum damage. I had already taken stealth rock damage. I was at 76%, so I would have died regardless. But another moot point is that he was +1, so even if I hadn't taken stealth rock damage, I would still have died. So the crit was entirely irrelevant. I am very, very sorry that this match was hacksy to Spice, but you know, things happen. It is the game we play, so it is what it is. So Landorus goes down to his +1 Victini, who fired off a glaciate, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? Alright, so Landorus goes down. I go to my Manectric here because Manectric is choice scarfed, and I thought he should be able to do 35%, right? He should be able to do 35%, right? So I'm able to switch in and click off a move. But I thought about this move for a little bit, and I was like, what if I fired off a signal beam? And I was like, too risky. I don't know if it's an ideal play, because otherwise he's knocking me out with any move he clicks. Because, again, Manectric is frail. It dies to pretty much anything. What if he has HP? What if he has HP ground, for example? Then I die, right? So I'm going to make the momentum play, and I'm going to click off a volt switch and try to volt switch off by picking up this kill. Unfortunately for me, I probably could have clicked, you know what, I'm looking at this in hindsight, and I'm realizing I could have clicked Thunderbolt because the Manectric outspeeds because choice scarfed against Z Crystal, so I could have clicked Thunderbolt and probably picked him up, but hey, hindsight's 20/20, it is what it is, right? So Manectric clicks off a volt switch, does not kill because I figured Manectric would be able to kill, but it was not able to. So at this point, I have to decide what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and decide to switch into Tapu Bulu. Y'all guys are like, well hey, he's a fire type. You're switching into a potential move. What are you doing? Let this turn play out. I will explain. My Tapu Bulu brings up the Grassy Surge. He's able to fire off a blue flare, which annihilates my Tapu Bulu. Which I had said in the team builder, while Tapu Bulu can probably take a physical hit, it will not take a special hit. Or possibly could not. Here's why. Because Blue Flare is a special fire type move. It blows me away even in Grassy Surge, even if I'm max HP. So, yeah, let's go ahead and let the rest of this, a little bit more of this play out, and I'll explain why I played into Tapu Bulu. Actually, I can explain it now. So, no, you know what? I'm going to let the next couple turns play out. So my Tapu Bulu goes down, and I'm able to get a free switch. I'm able to get a switch. He gets his Grassy Surge recovery back, and I'm able to go into Minior. Now, this time around, Stealth Rocks are up, so I do take the 25% damage from the Minior. You know what? I'll explain after the battle why I sacked the Tapu Bulu. But yeah, so he's able to fire off a Glaciate, which does so much damage. It is super effective. It does 56.3% damage. When I calced against Minior, when I calced to build Minior, the damage output was around 53% with the Glaciate, so it was just around the same amount of damage, probably low-sided damage roll. Yeah, low-sided damage roll. So 53% to my max HP Minior. And while he clicks Glaciate, my speed drops, so my White Herb will pop to break the speed tier. But I'm able to Shell Smash up right here. So the White Herb wasting right here, the White Herb being wasted to the speed drop from Glaciate, is irrelevant because of the fact that I'm able to Shell Smash up. Now, because I'm able to Shell Smash up, let me go ahead and explain right now why I sacked off Tapu Bulu. So, on that turn, when I Volt switched on him with Manectric, I had to make a decision. And the decision was, do I save Tapu Bulu for a late game sweep, or do I let Tapu Bulu die to let Minior do what it needs to do, and what it can do better than the Tapu Bulu after the Shell Smash up? Because essentially the question was, who do I get the free switch into? Tapu Bulu or the Minior? And looking at the remainder of his team, he had the Venusaur, which probably had Sludge Bomb, so it was moot point. It would have been a moot point to preserve Tapu Bulu at that point, because a Sludge Bomb from my Venusaur that has any investment would probably have killed, or probably 2-hit KO'd. So it would have probably led to my demise. However, if I save Minior and sack off Tapu Bulu, then Minior gets a free switch, takes a hit, gets a free switch, and then because of my speed, is able to take a hit after Stealth Rocks, and then is able to Shell Smash up like it's supposed to. Because let me play out the other scenario to you guys. Let's say I switch in Minior after the Volt Switch. Minior after the Volt Switch has to take a Blue Flare, Stealth Rocks, and another Blue Flare, which it cannot do. So essentially, I would lose the Minior. So my decision as a coach at that present time was, who do I sack, who do I preserve, who wins me the game? Do I sack Tapu Bulu and save Minior, or do I sack Minior and save Tapu Bulu? Who wins the game? Honestly, at the end of the day, once Minior Shell Smashes and its shields go down, as I said in the team builder, Minior outspeeds everything. That is, even if it's Choice Scarf at this point, I outspeed everything because I Shell Smashed up. So at that point, I decided as the coach that Minior was worth saving. Tapu Bulu could be the sack, because at the end of the day, Tapu Bulu Earthquake probably 2-hit KOs what's it called? The Gardevoir. But I couldn't click Zen Headbutt safely with Tapu Bulu because of the Zoroark that was still around. So, as a coach, I decided to make the executive decision to sack Tapu Bulu for me to get my win condition in, Shell Smashed up. Now, at this end phase, at this end turn, my speed is +2, my special attack is +2, and my attack is +2, while my defenses are -1 because of the Shell Smash. The White Herb popped to the Glaciate speed drop, obviously, but at this end phase, because I'm below 25%, my shields will drop. I will get Grassy Surge recovery, leaving me around 19%, and I'm able to fire off an Acrobatics, and then kill the Victini. He's able to bring his actual Venusaur in, right here. He's going to Mega Evolve. He's actually going to bring his regular Mega Venusaur in. Now, he's going to bring his Mega Venusaur in, Mega Evolve, and try to click Giga Drain here, I think it was. But, after the Stealth Rock damage, I did the damage calc in battle. After the Stealth Rock damage, Mega Venusaur is alive at 88%. Acrobatics at +1, Acrobatics unboosted does minimum 44% damage. At +2, the Acrobatics at +2 does 88.5 minimum % damage. All right, he was at 88%. So no matter what type of a damage roll I got there. No matter what type of a damage roll I got there, the acrobatics killed because of the fact that stealth rocks were up. This is also why I sacked the Tapu Bulu, because the calc says that Minior wins effectively. The calcs say that Minior wins effectively. But anyway, I'm able to fire off the acrobatics, pick up the Mega Venusaur, cleaning off exactly 88% to him. So the Mega Venusaur drops. He brings in Gardevoir, takes the Stealth Rock damage, 88% again. Click off acrobatics. Goodbye, Gardevoir. Because at this point, nobody's going to outspeed me because speed drop from the sticky webs, because the majority of his team was on the ground, and then I'm +2 anyway. So I'm going to play off. The Grassy Surge is actually going to go away. He's going to go into Zoroark. Now, let me make a mood point. I told you guys earlier in the battle, or in the team builder, that I was kind of expecting his Zoroark to potentially be naive mixed, physical or special, but I expected him to have Sucker Punch. I really did, because at this point he wins because of Sucker Punch. At this point, because from Zoroark, I don't believe Alakazam can live a hit from Sucker Punch. If it can, it came down to, can I connect a Focus Blast or not? So I guess it was a lot more risky at that point if he had Sucker Punch, because the Manectric died to Sucker Punch from the range it was at, probably. But again, I didn't calc it, but he probably died. So the big thing was, does he have Sucker Punch? Unfortunately, as I said earlier in the battle, when he was disguised as the Venusaur, he fired off a Sludge Bomb. So I figured he was either special or mixed, but as you'll find out here in a minute, he does not have the Sucker Punch, which he'll tell me here in a minute. And I'm gonna pause this. Actually, that's the battle, so it's fine. He didn't have Sucker Punch because he wanted to take a aggressive approach to things on this team. So I guess it was a fully special Zoroark. So he didn't have Sucker Punch. Sadly, I wish he did. Then he probably would have won. But he didn't have Sucker Punch, and so because of that, my Trojan Broom was able to smash and sweep like it's supposed to. Which is funny because even in the damage calcs it says Smash and Sweep Minior. So yeah, that is the game. I am able to pick up another beautiful 3-0, preserving the Manectric, and this funky Alakazam, sadly enough, I didn't even have to use. I didn't even have to use the Mega Alakazam, because Minior did everything. Minior clan up half this team. No, not half the team. No, it did. It clan out half the team. Just like in week 1, it clan up half the team. So, that is the game. We pick up the 3-0 win again, preserving our Manectric, our Minior, and our Mega Alakazam. Ironic, because he has clickbait to my Psychic type, and yet a Psychic type lived at full HP. Very, very ironic. Holy crap. So yeah, that is the game. GG to Spicy Revenge and the Memphis Primeapes. It was a very well played game, and I think that his prep probably had questionable decisions in it, but he did, I think, prep decently. I think that the Stealth Rocks and the Sticky Webs were very, 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 very important, but I think he even realizes after we discussed the battle a little bit that he shouldn't have bought Gardevoir. He says he shouldn't have bought Gardevoir, and he should have bought Defog on the Scizor, which probably would have saved him from the battle, because the only way for me to kill with acrobatics at that point, if he did not have Stealth Rocks up, would have been to get a high roll or to crit. Now, he got a crit on my Landorus, which didn't matter, and I got a crit on his Scizor, which makes the game pretty even. I do unfortunately feel bad because of the fact that I did get the para on the I did get the para on the scissor, and then he tried to bullet punch there, and he couldn't because he got fully paralyzed. I do feel bad for that. But besides that, I think the match was pretty clean, pretty even. But yeah, we were able to pick up another 3-0. I had substitute on there, but no matter what happened, I wouldn't have been able to get up a substitute because of the execution. But yeah, a team that I built on my own this week because I don't have an assistant coach, because Luke doesn't want to help me because he thinks I'm too weak to psychic types, and he refuses to help a person with 4 psychic types that's weak to dark type. I'm sorry if I draft like ass, but like, hey, I won, right? So that's the point. But anyway, if anybody's interested in being my assistant coach, I am currently accepting applications for an assistant coach. I will probably make a separate video for that at some point. But in any event, that is the battle. It is a good game to the Memphis Primeapes and their coach, the fine battler, Spicy Revenge. I hope to play him again. I really do, because just because. I don't know, just because he was unfortunately given a team that he didn't draft. Well, he did, but he wasn't given the full pool of drafts options. So that's unfortunate on his end. A very, very, very well played game on his end as well, though. But with that said, nice and 15-turn game. Minior proves to be a very, very, very valuable asset coming out of week 2, obviously. We're only on week 2, so it could change. Coming out of week 2, Minior proves to be a very, very, very good first-round pick because, again, 3-0 to Minior again. So that leaves our season record at 2-0 at +6. So this season in the STL, your Texan Clearbodies are on fire. Kinda ironic because at HBL we went 0-6, 0-7 rather, but ironic. But in any event, that is the game. I'm gonna stop rambling now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like because y'all don't know how much that helps. If you guys have any suggestions or anything as far as nicknames are concerned, leave them down below. Also, be sure to subscribe because you don't know what you'll miss if you don't, because future STL battles will be on the channel shortly, as well as a lot of other content. Next week in the STL, week number 3, which actually will be Sunday, breaking the fourth wall a little bit, I'll actually upload that on Sunday this week. This will go up on, I think, Saturday? Either Friday or Saturday. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, this will go up on Friday or Saturday, and then STL week 3 will go up on Sunday, and in that match we will go up against the Boston Kamoa and their coach Levinama, or Lev. Hope you guys tune in for that match as well. But with that being said, if you are interested, also be sure to follow me on Twitter. The link to that is down below because I tweet out about things like this with regards to why we didn't have a week 2 battle go up in week 2 and rather had it go up in week 3. I asked you guys on Twitter when you guys wanted me to post the week 2 battle. Yeah, I went and decided to ask you guys when to post the week 2 battle. So if you guys want to give your voice a little bit, then be sure to follow me on Twitter. The link to that is down below. Also, if you have not seen our draft analysis for the STL, the link to that should also be down below. And if you missed out on week number 1 of the STL against, I don't remember who it was. Oh, against the Boston Celebes. If you missed our match against the Boston Celebes in week 1 of the STL, the playlist to the STL is linked down below. Check that out as well. Also be sure to check out any other content on the channel that you have not seen, because I promise you, it's all good. It really is. It's all good. It's all competitive related. It's all very, very good, I think. But I'm gonna stop rambling now. I'm sorry that this video is super long, but like, we here. But with that being said, I will see you guys again in week number 3 of the STL. Until the next video though, this is your coach for the Texan Clearbodies. My name is Medicos Man, and until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Bye y'all.